Friends in 2022 an Irish film was released named The Oddity. The word oddity means a strange thing. This film comes in the genre of horror thriller. Maybe you remember that in the year 2020 also a horror film was released named The Caveat. It was a deep dark horror film. Well, people liked The Caveat. An Irish director named Damien McCarthy has made both these films. The secret of the story of the Oddity film is revealed at the end, so the film has to be watched till the end. Maybe you like its twist. This is a simple story in which only a few elements have been used. The story of the film begins from a village in Ireland. We see a woman named Danny Odell who is renovating her house. Danny's husband Ted is a psychiatrist who works in a hospital here. This house was very old and was at a place where even the phone network did not work properly. Well, for the last few days, Danny was alone engaged in repairing this house, then he gets such a place in the house. She was getting signals from the house, so she called her husband and talked to him for a while. Before nightfall, she brought some important things from the car to the house, but she forgot her phone there. She had put up her tent near the door and slept there. That night someone came to the door, a man named Olin. Olin had an artificial eye, and he had been a patient of Ted earlier, which meant that Olin's mental condition was not good. Olin tells Danny to open the door because her life is in danger. Someone has entered her house. Danny was scared of that man and she refused to open the door because trusting a stranger was madness. This man named Olin was talking very lovingly. His expressions also showed as if he cared for Danny. He tells Danny that if you do trust me, then call the police. If you don't do this, then you will be killed. Well, after listening to his words, Danny moves towards the door. Now, whether she opened the door or not is not shown to us, but along with this, we are shown another scene in which something has Olin was brutally murdered, and after that we also come to know that Danny was also killed that night. Someone brutally murdered him. Surely it could be Olin for whom Danny would have opened the door, and Olin was anyway a mad person. We all have seen so many movies that we can guess that maybe Olin was under the influence of some evil power and he killed Dolly, and then the same evil power killed Olin too. But is this the truth? This secret will be revealed in the story ahead. Now we are shown the time after a few months where Ted, that is Danny's husband, comes to an antique shop. This antique shop actually belongs to Danny's twin sister Darcy. Darcy was blind since birth and she was also a psychic. Darcy was very sad about her sister's death. Ted often used to come to meet her. Although he did not believe in Darcy's strange things, Darcy used to claim that she could feel things, those things with which humans have some relation. At this time she had a vine in her hand. She said that it was a part of a boy's life, but of the day she died mysteriously, she says I can feel him through this vine. Ted had actually come to give her something. Darcy had asked Ted for some special thing of Olin, so that Darcy could know why Olin killed her sister and what he was thinking at that time. Ted hands over his handkerchief to Darcy. During the conversation, Darcy also came to know that Ted is now dating another girl, although it was not long since her sister died. Darcy does not reveal this, but she must have felt bad. Ted says that her name is Yana and she used to work in our hospital. Earlier we were just friends, but now I need someone. After this, Ted leaves from there. In the evening, Darcy returns to her home. She had also brought Olin's handkerchief with her. She keeps it on a table, takes off her gloves and feels something as soon as she touches it. She sees something which frightens her and tears come to her eyes. Then she goes to her storeroom where there is a big wooden handkerchief. There was a box. Darcy starts looking at it and then sits in front of it. There was some strange stuff lying in this room. The director has also given a reference of his Caveat film here. The next day, Ted wakes up from sleep by showing a rabbit. He was about to go to the hospital after getting himself ready, but Yana shows him some pictures. This camera was actually Danny's, which Yana got. Camera had a time-lapse option set on it, due to which it would take pictures by itself. Last night it took a picture, and in that picture there was Danny's shadow, although it had been a long time since he died. Ted works at night, due to which Yana has to stay alone in that house. This is the same house where Danny died, so she was scared of staying alone. Ted says that he just has to adjust for a few days, but Yana says no, I will stay in my apartment until your shift changes. Ted agrees to this. Yana was about to leave today itself. Well, before Ted leaves for his work, Yana tells him that last night Darcy has sent a strange gift. It was the same wooden box, and this they were even more surprised to know that Darcy was standing outside. Well, they bring her inside. No one had invited Darcy, yet she came here. She wanted to stay here for a day or two. Yana was not interested in this, but Ted did not refuse. Although Yana had to go and so did Ted, but Darcy still wanted to stay here. There was a gift in that wooden box, a very strange doll made of wood which Darcy gave to Ted. Ted tells Yana that as soon as Darcy leaves, I will remove this thing. Just bear with it till then. Ted leaves, and after some time Yana was also about to leave, but her car keys got lost somewhere. She tries a lot to find them, but she does not find them. Darcy was sitting there comfortably as if she already knows what is going to happen. On not finding the keys, Darcy asks Yana, "Are you not going to leave now?" Yana is forced to stay. The wooden doll that was in the box is now on the dining table. It was on a chair. Yana asks, "Did you take it out?" Darcy replies, "No." Well, in the evening, Yana brings some food for Darcy and then both of them talk. Yana asks Darcy about her work. Yana does not believe this. Rather, in her heart, she was also making fun of her that Darcy believes in witchcraft like a witch. Darcy asks, "How do you feel in this house?" Yana replies that I don't like anything special. Whatever happened to your sister? On this, Darcy asks her a question. If a stranger asks you to open the door, do you open the door? Yana replies, I am not that stupid. Hearing this, Darcy gets angry. She says my sister was not stupid. She did not open the door. Actually, Olin did not kill her. This is someone else's work. Hearing this, Yana asks in surprise, if a madman like Olin did not kill her, then who killed her? Darcy replies that Ivan killed her. Ivan was actually a nurse who worked in the same hospital where Olin was a patient and Ted was a doctor. After hearing this, Yana feels very strange. Well, we are shown a scene from the past of the night when Olin came to Danny's door. It is revealed here that Danny never opened the door. When Olin came to help, Danny was attacked by someone, a masked man who brutally murdered him. Before going to sleep, Yana calls her husband Ted and tells him that Darcy is very strange. She did not go to her apartment because she lost her keys somewhere and maybe Darcy must have stolen them. Yana says that Darcy claims that her sister Dolly was killed not by Olin but by Ivan. Ted calms Yana down and tells her not to think too much and just close the door and sleep. But Yana still cannot sleep. She comes out of her room and looks down to see that Darcy is sleeping on the sofa. Yana secretly goes to the wooden statue and starts looking at it to find out what secret is hidden in it. There were 5 holes in the head of that statue. Yana starts looking at it. In the hole she found a picture of Darcy and Danny in the second, a tooth, and in the third, blood. Yana was about to look further when Darcy woke up. She angrily tells Yana to put everything back. Well, Yana puts everything back in its place. Here the story becomes a little confusing because it is not understood whether everything is connected to some deed, some ritual, or there is nothing like that. So far nothing has happened that seems unusual. Darcy spends the whole night in front of the same doll, but Yana was scared. She starts watching the footage recorded in Danny's camera. She sees a terrifying face in the footage, and after this she also sees Danny's ghost in the corner of the room, which scares her. Yana had got the car keys, so she directly leaves from there. In the hospital, we are shown that there is friendship between Ivan and Dr. Ted, so maybe it can be true that Danny has been killed by Ivan. After coming home, Ted saw that Yana is not there. He went upstairs and Darcy was sitting there disappointed. Ted was with Yana. When Ted asks about it, Darcy says that she ran away from here. I wanted to reveal your truth to her, but my sister scared her. Darcy says that it was you who got my sister killed. You fell in love with Yana. You just wanted my sister's property, which she had already transferred to your name. I kept thinking that some mad person killed her, that's why I took revenge from Olin, but he really wanted to save my sister. I know that you will send someone to kill me, but it would be better if you send that murderer here. On this, Ted says that how can you even think like this? How did all this come to your mind? If you doubt me, then let's talk to the detective who was working on Dan's case, but Darcy did not believe his words. Ted says that I am keeping this phone here. I will call him and tell him so that he can tell you everything. As soon as the phone is left, you have to pick it up. Saying this, Ted leaves from there, but we are shown a scene where Ted was planning Danny's death with Ivan. Ivan was a mad and crazy person. He enjoyed all this. Ted was only interested in money. Ivan killed Danny on the advice of Ted. But the question is, where does Olin come in all this? It is true that Olin's mental condition was not good, but apart from this, he was a good person. He was not a murderer. He had heard the conversation between Ted and Ivan. That is why he went to save Danny that night. But Danny did not believe him, and that is why she was killed. But one secret is still not revealed. Who killed Olin? Yes, Darcy did say this, but how did she go to a closed room in the hospital because she was blind? This secret will also be revealed. While leaving, Ted had taken out a tile from the floor so that as soon as Darcy moves forward to pick up the phone, she falls down, and this is what happens. After going to the hospital, Ted assigns this task to Ivan that he should now kill Danny's sister Darcy as well. Ivan happily agrees to this. Ted had already dialed the call on his phone. As soon as Darcy moves forward to pick up the phone, she falls down. When Ivan comes there, he first sees the wooden doll and then Darcy, who is badly injured. Darcy dies soon due to excessive bleeding. But here a new twist comes up because there are also supernatural things in this film. Darcy already knew about her death. A ritual is completed by her sacrifice and the wooden doll suddenly comes alive. It attacks Ivan. When Ivan opens his eyes, he is tied to the hospital bed. Ted is standing in front of him. Ted puts the blame of Darcy's murder on Ivan. Ivan pleads that he will not tell anything to anyone and just leave him. But Ted says that the doubt will come on me only that why I could not recognize a mad person like you and who will believe you that a wooden doll came alive and attacked you. Ted was a deceitful person who was very clever. He used to use people cunningly, he used everyone, even his wife Danny. Well, now Darcy has also died, but she punished her enemy. She could have killed Ivan, but she did not do so. She kept him in captivity. When Ivan was a nurse, he abused many patients. All this was not shown to us directly in the film, but it can be guessed from where. In the end, a patient cuts Ivan's finger to take his revenge. At the end of the film, Ted comes to his house. He picks up the bell about which Darcy had told a story. He rings it, but nothing happens. From this, he understands that perhaps there is nothing like supernatural. Yana also left Ted. Perhaps Darcy was successful in her revenge, i.e. by ruining Ted's life. But in the end, we are shown a bellboy near Ted and the film ends here. Friends, the deep meaning of the film highlights the dark side of human nature, deception, and desire for revenge. Darcy's story shows how grief and revenge force a person to take dangerous steps. This film can compel you to also show how supernatural elements and human emotions combine to compel one to see where the boundary is between reality and deception. We hope you liked our video.